College has always been a dream of mine, especially in a foreign country. I always knew about Iowa State. I used to come to football games. It felt like a challenge. I always challenged myself academically.
I knew I wanted to go to college, but also I feel like it's hard being a first-generation student going to college because I want to achieve the highest standard I can for myself.
I've always loved to learn. I've always loved to meet new people and social network, and growing up, we kind of grew up without a lot. I knew that I wanted to set myself up to succeed, and so it was important for me to get a college education.
I remember when I was just probably 4 or 5 years old, I would always make gifts for my family around Christmas time. And one thing in particular that I made was a toy roller coaster out of paper, tape, and popsicle sticks. And that was really the first time I realized that you could make something and really just see a lasting impact on the person who I was making it for, in this case my family. And that really resonated with me and really drove me to engineering and ultimately brought me to Iowa State today to study that.
To be a Cyclone, to me, it means to be just a community that's willingness to be there for each other and willing to help no matter the circumstances.
One thing I realized pretty much right after I got here was just how welcoming people were.
To be a Cyclone, it means taking pride in what you do. It means working really hard. It means lots of very cool experiences and just having a good time.
Being a Cyclone means that you're setting yourself up for success. One thing that Coach Finley always talks to us about is try to find ways to impact success every day.
After coming to Iowa State, I've tried many different things and discovered many things that I liked. Through those opportunities, I've discovered parts of myself that I didn't even know existed.
So before college, I was always a really hard worker, but what college really instilled in me was a perseverance and a fantastic work ethic that really is sought after in the professional world.
I'd say I'm more open to working with other people now, after being through many classes where I realized I did not have it figured out and I had to get help from people around me.
I never stayed in my comfort zone. I always try to talk to different people from different backgrounds. I try to get involved with different clubs.
This summer, for about 2 months, I got to travel to Uganda, East Africa, and when I wasn't teaching science, I was actually working in the school gardens. What was so cool about that is that I was helping to plant and harvest food that the children that I was teaching would actually get to consume for lunch. This is what I want to do. This is how I want to represent Iowa State University as a Cyclone after I graduate through nonprofit work with improving food security.
I'd like to say thank you to my parents, my sisters, Courtney, Aubrey, Kelsey, Bailey, and everyone at Iowa State, the faculty and staff that I've worked with here as well.
I'd like to thank my family here. They're very loving people, and they've been supporting me in every way possible for the last 5 years.
My parents are very proud. I'll be the first kid out of 6 kids to graduate, so it's a very big deal.
I'd say I'm most proud of just sticking to it. Day after day, going in, despite all the hardships.
I feel like just yesterday I was a freshman walking on campus, and now here I am at graduation and going out into the real world, as people say.
Ames feels like home to me. Iowa State feels like home. I've made lifelong friends with my professors and with my classmates that I know I will continue to keep after I graduate.
I'm so satisfied with where I am right now. I would not change it for the world.
Standing on is right where we belong. This feeling that we found, it's clear to see. Oh, the ground we're standing on.
Good evening. Iowa State University is pleased and honored to welcome the family and friends of our graduates to the Fall 2022 Graduate College Commencement Ceremony here in Hilton Coliseum. Today's commencement ceremony recognizes recent graduates in Iowa State University's proud 164-year history of academic achievement, excellence, and service. The processional will begin with the presentation of the college banner by the Graduate College's student marshal, who will be accompanied by the dean and the Students' University escort. The posting of the college banner will be followed by the processional of candidates for master's degrees, followed by candidates for doctoral degrees and their presenting professors. Members of the assembly may remain seated during the processional. At this time, it is our privilege to present to you Bienvenido Tibbs Cortez, Student Marshal for the Graduate College. Bienvenido is accompanied by Dr. Stefan Schmitz-Esser, Professor of Animal Science, and by Dean William Graves. It is our privilege to present to you the candidates for graduation from the Graduate College at Iowa State University. commencement ceremony. The University Mace, carried by Chief Faculty Marshal Dr. Robert Wallace, precedes the President. We ask that the candidates for graduation and the members of the Assembly to please rise as you are able for the procession of the members of the Iowa State University academic community, led by President Dr. Wendy Winterstein. Iowa State University is very pleased to introduce Cole Stevenson as the Fall 2022 Graduate College Commencement Student Vocalist. Mr. Stevenson will sing our national anthem.
Please join me in the singing of the national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Graduates, family, and friends, I am pleased to introduce Dr. Wendy Winterstein, President of Iowa State University.
Good evening. I am very pleased to welcome you to Iowa State University's Fall 2022 Graduate Commencement Ceremony. At this time, I would like to introduce the members of the platform party. I ask that they stand and remain standing until all introductions are made. Dr. Beata Schmidtmann, Dean of the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences and commencement speaker. Regent Nancy Butker, Board of Regents, State of Iowa. Regent Nancy Dunkel, Board of Regents, State of Iowa. Dr. Jonathan Wickert, Senior Vice President and Provost. Dr. Toya Younger, Senior Vice President for Student Affairs. Dr. John Lawrence, Vice President for Extension and Outreach. Dr. Peter Dorhout, Vice President for Research. Dr. Sharon Perry Fancini, Vice President for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. Ms. Sharon Evans, Associate Vice President for Student Affairs and Dean of Students. Dr. Carl Wells, Director of Equal Opportunity and Title IX Coordinator. Dr. Jeffrey Johnson, Laura and Russ Talbot, Endowed President and Chief Executive Officer of the Iowa State University Alumni Association. Dr. Dawn Bratz Prince, Associate Provost for Faculty. Dr. William Graves, Dean of the Graduate College. Mr. Luis Rico Gutierrez, Dean of the College of Design. Dr. Laura Dunn-Jolly, Dean and Dean's Chair of the College of Human Sciences. Dr. Daniel Robeson, Endowed Dean's Chair of the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences. Dr. Samuel Easterling, James L. and Catherine S. Melsa, Endowed Dean of the College of Engineering. Dr. Scott Johnson, Interim Associate Dean for Research in the Ivy College of Business. Dr. Dan Grooms, the Doctors Stephen G. Julesgaard, Dean of the College of Veterinary Medicine. Ms. Hilary Zao, Dean of Library Services. Dr. John Perkins, Associate Professor of Accounting in the Ivy College of Business and Faculty Senate President. Dr. Jennifer Sukon, University Registrar, and the faculty marshals for today's commencement ceremony. Please join me in recognizing them. Thank you. You may be seated. On behalf of our university leaders, faculty, and staff, we are delighted to honor and celebrate our newest graduates of Iowa State University. Commencement is the most important and significant ceremony that a university holds. For our graduates, it represents the culmination of years of hard work, focused study, perseverance, and personal growth. For family and friends, it is a time to share in the success of their graduate and to be recognized for the wonderful support and care they have provided through the years. And for Iowa State University, it represents the success of our land-grant mission and most important responsibility to society, preparing the next generation of scholars, innovators, and leaders. Graduates, tonight you join the very special group of people who hold advanced degrees from our leading research institution. No matter where you go in this world, you are now a part of the legacy of excellence at Iowa State University. We look forward to what your future holds. We know you will continue to make us proud. Congratulations to all of you. Now it is my pleasure to introduce the keynote speaker for tonight's graduate commencement ceremony. Dr. Beata Schmidtmann has served as Dean of the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences at Iowa State since 2012. She is leading several key initiatives in the college to promote student success, research, innovation, and entrepreneurship, and college advancement. These efforts include addressing student success in gateway courses, expanding online learning, and supporting the creation of innovative academic programs and high-impact experiential learning opportunities. Dr. Schmidtmann is a Fellow of the American Association for the Advancement of Science, a Fellow of the American Physical Society, and a winner of the organization's 2010 Jesse W. Beams Award. Her research focuses on statistical and biological physics. She has authored or co-authored more than 100 peer-reviewed articles and one book. Dr. Schmidtmann earned a Master's of Science in Physics from the Technical University of Aachen in her native Germany, and a PhD in Physics from the University of Edinburgh in Scotland. Prior to joining Iowa State, she was a member of the physics faculty at Virginia Tech in Blacksburg, Virginia, and served as the physics department chair. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Beate Schmidtmann.
Well, thank you, President Winterstein, for the kind introduction and for giving me the opportunity to speak here. It is a true honor. First, and most importantly, congratulations, graduates. And congratulations to your families, significant others, and friends who have supported you along the way. Today is your and their day of celebration and new beginnings. By completing a graduate degree, you have shown that you're curious, persistent, and very bright. Curiosity, persistence, and intellectual ability are qualities that will serve you well on your future journeys. Again, congratulations. Most of you will probably head out into the first years of your professional careers, whether in industry, business, education, or public service. Some of you may decide to pursue further education or nurture an innovative idea into an entrepreneurial success. Tonight, as we celebrate all that you've achieved in your academic learning at Iowa State, I'm hoping you can find something helpful in a few lessons that I learned in the first few years after receiving my PhD. Not surprisingly, there were bumps in the road, but there were also wonderful opportunities. Let me share 3 lessons for your next chapter. Learn from failure, embrace change, and have the courage to be first. First, learn from failure. Here at Iowa State University, I teach a leadership seminar to a group of freshmen from the college, and I invite very successful alumni to share their experiences with the class. They talk about their successes, mentors that they've had along the way, and things they have learned. But the one thing that invariably fascinates the students and me are stories of failure. So let me start by telling you about one of my failures and how important that was for my future. It happened while I was a postdoc in my native Germany. For those of you who are not familiar with typical academic careers in the sciences, a postdoctoral position is a job that many early career scientists take for a few years following their PhDs to deepen their training and start to grow their independent research programs. You work with a more senior scientist and contribute to that person's research program, and at the same time, the more senior person should be a good mentor and help you grow and get ready to apply for faculty jobs at major universities. So I was working with a professor who was very, very strong and using the mathematical techniques of our field in physics. I certainly learned a lot from him in that respect. But I also hoped that he would be a mentor to me, give me advice, and help me grow and find an academic position. In that regard, however, he was completely hands-off. I felt somewhat uncertain about myself at the time, and his lack of support contributed quite a bit to my self-doubt. When we published our research together, he always listed himself as first author on our papers. In physics, the first author is typically considered to be the person who made the most significant contributions to the work. After talking with a more experienced friend, I realized it would be important for me to also appear as first author, at least occasionally. So one day, I approached my professor and asked very politely whether we might be able to switch the order of our names on one of our next papers. Let me say quite diplomatically that he did not take that well at all. Without going into the details of who said what in the very icy and very unfriendly conversation that followed, he refused to consider a different ordering, and I was furious. I can honestly say I have never been more upset in a professional context. It took me several long walks to blow off steam, but then over a period of time I took stock of my situation. I realized that while my expectations from my boss were perfectly reasonable, he was not going to meet them. I also realized that I was the one who had to take full responsibility for advancing my career, and I could not look to someone else for doing that. At the most superficial level, this experience was a failure. I failed to get what I asked for. But at a deeper level, these events became an immensely important turning point in my life. So what happened next? I decided to do my absolute best and finish up all the work that we had in progress. I also swore to myself that once that work was finished, I was never going to write another paper with him. As I sought out opportunities with this new mindset, doors began to open for me, and within 2 years, I had my first real academic job. Oh, and then some 10 years later, I did write a few more papers with him, and even gave the keynote speech at his retirement celebration. My commitment to myself had served its purpose, and I could let it go. The second lesson, embrace change. Over your lifetimes, the world will change dramatically. When I type my master's thesis, I use a typewriter. For this speech, I use dictation and word processing software. In the 1970s, the biggest concern regarding fossil fuels, and especially oil, was that known reserves would be depleted quickly. Today, we have discovered plenty of new reserves, but are racing against time to figure out how to run a competitive economy without them. Imagine, too, just how many of the jobs that exist today will be different from the jobs in 20 to 30 years. Where and how we do our jobs will also change. When I was a kid growing up in Germany, I never imagined that one day I would be living and working in the United States. Also, frankly, I think few kids say they want to be a dean when they grow up. As things change around you, you will make choices about how those changes might shape your future and how you will be part of changing it for others. Change is part of life. What matters is what you make of it. With change come opportunities and risks. Doors will open for you. Keep an eye out and don't be afraid to walk through them. After I decided to scale back working with my postdoc advisor, I started to build a collaboration with a group in the US based on a connection that I had made while in graduate school. A short-term research visit to the US turned into a year-long replacement for someone who was on leave, and shortly after into the offer of a permanent faculty position. That was a huge opportunity for me since the academic job market in Germany was disastrous at the time. But it was also a risk since I was moving into a different culture and a different university system and would need to leave my entire social support system behind. Suffice it to say, I took the leap, embraced the changes that came with it, and never looked back. Similar opportunities and the risks will come your way. Consider them thoughtfully, look at all the different scenarios. Use your brain, but listen to your heart as well. You may not always get it right. Remember that first lesson about failure? That's okay. The important part is for you to be able to look back and know that you have made a well-considered decision with the best information available to you at the time. The third and final lesson, don't be afraid to be first. We know there's plenty of research that shows that role models matter. It's important for students to learn and work with faculty of the same gender or race or economic background. The same holds for young employees in most careers. But where do the role models come from? Somebody has to be a pioneer, and I encourage you to be that person. Have the courage to be first. in a field, in an activity, in a business venture, and then help others who follow. When I decided to become a physics major, I knew that I was entering a field in which women were, and still are to this day, sorely underrepresented. I was the first woman to receive tenure and later promotion to full professor in my department. Eventually, I was the first female department chair in science and engineering at Virginia Tech, where I worked at the time. For me, it was important to build a path for other women to follow and to look out for them along the way. One of the things I'm most proud of from those days is that several female physics majors approached me, and we created a group for women physicists in the department. Female undergraduate and graduate students, staff, and other female faculty, by now there were several, got together on a regular basis to socialize and support each other. As of today, this group continues and just celebrated its 20th anniversary. So for all of you in a field where you are underrepresented, for example, as women, as people of color, the first in your family to go to college or pursue a graduate degree, thank you. You have taken on a responsibility which can be challenging or even intimidating. But please know that you are making a difference. To those of you who are not in the groups that I just mentioned, think about how you can create impactful paths for others to follow in your workplaces, in your communities, and in your families. Be open to the experiences and needs of people whose life stories differ from your own in fundamental ways. To wrap up, I want to share with you a couple of ways that help me gain perspective when things become stressful. They are represented by two small objects that never fail to make me smile. I keep them on my office desk, and I brought them here today. The first one was given to me by a mentor when I was a young pre-tenure faculty member. My research never went as fast as I wanted it to go, and I was never as creative as I expected myself to be. As you can imagine, that didn't exactly lower my stress level, but you can probably relate to that. My mentor noticed this, and one day he gave me a small, perfect fossil, a brachiopod, which is a marine invertebrate similar to a clam. This little object probably dates from the Middle Jurassic period and is about 165 million years old. My mentor said, I want you to remember that on the timescales of this fossil, nothing that we do today matters all that much. So how about you relax a bit and don't take things quite that seriously? As you can tell, I've never forgotten, and to this day, I often look at the little brachiopod and smile. The second item is a kitchen refrigerator magnet that I picked up many years ago in a country store in rural Southwest Virginia. It has a quote on it, and I hope you like its compelling logic as much as I do. It says, everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end. So, always remember that the frustration of the moment is not all there is. And find something that helps you remember that. Whether it's a small fossil, a funny quote, the beauty of a sunset, or the smile on your child's face. Congratulations, graduates. You have done an amazing job. Be courageous, be proud, and remember, everything will be okay in the end. Thank you, and go Cyclones.
Thank you for those inspiring words, Dr. Schmidtmann. Thank you for your excellence in the work you do here at Iowa State University, for your leadership and for your service. Another round of applause for Dr. Schmidtmann.
President Winterstein will begin the recognition of our graduates, followed by the presentation of degrees.
At this time, I call upon Senior Vice President and Provost, Dr. Jonathan Wickert, to recognize those students graduating with distinction.
At this time, I would like to recognize the graduate students who are receiving Teaching Excellence Awards and Research Excellence Awards this evening. Students receiving these awards are being recognized for their outstanding teaching or for their exceptional research accomplishments in a graduate program, and they are wearing cardinal and gold honor cords. Will these students please rise so we can recognize you? On behalf of our faculty, I offer you sincere congratulations. Thank you so much for your excellent contributions during your graduate career.
Provost Wickert, I now call upon you for the conferring of degrees.
We shall now proceed with the conferring of graduate degrees, and we will begin with conferral of the Doctor of Philosophy and Doctor of Education degrees. The Dean of the Graduate College will ask the doctoral candidates to stand and will present them to President Winterstein. After the President formally awards the degrees, the graduates will be seated. A faculty marshal will then dismiss students to come to the stage and be recognized. During the hooding ceremony tonight, the degree recipients will be escorted and hooded by their major professors, who have worked closely with them throughout their pursuit for the doctoral degree. These hoods connect the graduates from a family of scholars throughout history, from all parts of the world, and with this great university. Now, Dr. William Graves, Dean of the Graduate College, will present the candidates for doctoral degrees from the Graduate College.
Candidates for doctoral degrees, please rise as you are able. The Graduate College awards two types of doctoral degrees, the Doctor of Philosophy and the Doctor of Education. Doctorates are awarded only to those who have completed an intensive and demanding course of study. For the Doctor of Philosophy, the primary focus is on conducting research that must be original, planned after mastering related human knowledge, and documented in a publicly available dissertation. For the Doctor of Education, the dissertation demonstrates the use of critical inquiry to address a complex problem of practice. Those receiving doctorates today have demonstrated that they are experts in their fields whose research has contributed to human knowledge. The hoods they assume symbolize their admission to the exclusive ranks of those who have earned the titles Doctor of Philosophy and Doctor of Education. President Winterstein, these candidates have completed all required courses, demonstrated their ability in research or critical inquiry, and passed all examinations. They are recommended by the graduate faculty and the Faculty Senate and are approved by the Board of Regents, State of Iowa, for doctoral degrees.
In recognition of the satisfactory completion of your respective programs in the Graduate College, and by the authority delegated to me by the Board of Regents, State of Iowa, I confer upon you the degree Doctor of Philosophy or Doctor of Education with its accompanying rights, privileges, and obligations. The diploma, now to be placed in your hands, and the hood with which you will be invested, shall forever be the testimony of the highest academic rank. Congratulations.
Doctoral graduates, you may now be seated. The faculty marshals will dismiss you by row to approach the stage. We will begin with Dean Graves presenting the Graduate College's Student Marshal to President Winterstein.
President Winterstein, Provost Wickert, it is my honor to introduce our Student Marshal, Bienvenido Tibbs Cortez, who is escorted by Dr. Stefan Schmidt-Esser, Professor of Animal Science. Ben's doctoral scholarship focused on food safety, specifically the genetic mechanisms that enable a foodborne pathogen to persist in food production environments. The results of his research may be useful for future endeavors to mitigate contamination in the food supply. Ben joined the Graduate College at Iowa State to major in interdepartmental microbiology with a prestigious fellowship from the National Science Foundation. During his time here, he maintained a 4.0 GPA. He was also awarded a number of scholarships, awards, and travel grants, including an award that funded his travel to a research symposium in Poland. A passionate and effective teacher, Ben was highly active in our Preparing Future faculty program. He served as a teaching assistant for introductory biology courses and an advanced course in microbiology. Ben also mentored and supervised several graduate students in the microbiology program. Ben is planning to remain at Iowa State as a postdoctoral scholar for the near future, to continue his doctoral research, and eventually find a position as a molecular bacteriologist. Please join me in congratulating Ben and all of those receiving graduate degrees today.
Diba Malakpur Coupe, major in civil engineering, presented by Dr. Charles Jarin.
Leonardo Aguilera, major in computer engineering, presented by Dr. Doug Jacobson.
Brianna Lynn Marmer, major in environmental science, presented by Dr. Jeanette Thompson.
Sushma Badiraj Umbaker, major in molecular, cellular, and developmental biology, presented by Dr. Joshua Beck.
Rohit Ghosh, major in civil engineering, presented by Dr. Omar Smadi.
Timothy Joseph Nessel, major in genetics and genomics, presented by Dr. Joshua Beck.
Archana Venkatarapathati, major in civil engineering, presented by Dr. Omar Smadi.
Li Wei Tsai, major in civil engineering, presented by Dr. Alice Alapur.
Konstantinos Konstantinidis, major in electrical engineering, presented by Dr. Aditya Ramamurthy.
Kevin Oyale Chateri, major in genetics and genomics, presented by Dr. Stephen Cannon.
Zhengyu Chen, major in electrical engineering, presented by Dr. Aditya Ramamurthy.
Roshan Subhas Kulkarni, major in genetics and genomics, presented by Dr. Stephen Cannon.
Catherine M. Anthony, major in gerontology, presented by Dr. Constance Hargrave.
Chen Yo Yu, major in computer science, presented by Dr. Carl Chang and Dr. Wensheng Zhang.
Yunhua Chen, major in chemistry, presented by Dr. Javier Vera Becerra and Dr. Aaron Rossini.
Janice Summer Borchers, major in analytical chemistry, presented by Dr. Robin Anand.
Rick William Dorn, major in chemistry, presented by Dr. Aaron Rossini.
Sophie Andari, major in bioinformatics and computational biology, presented by Dr. Karen Dorman.
Amin Shirazi, major in statistics, presented by Dr. Peng Lu.
Spencer Lee Becker, major in animal science, presented by Dr. Laura Greiner.
Dae-Koo Jung, major in statistics, presented by Dr. Zhangwang Chu and Dr. Cindy Yu.
Sarah Catherine Elfson, major in animal science, presented by Dr. Laura Greiner.
Jia Yi Luo, major in statistics, presented by Dr. Cindy Yu.
Andreas J. Miles Novello, majors in psychology and human-computer interaction, presented by Dr. Craig Anderson.
Matthew John Stewart, major in statistics, presented by Dr. Cindy Yu.
Justin Tyler Brown, major in population sciences and animal health, presented by Dr. Locke Carricker and Dr. David Baum.
Bridget Gillian Perry, major in food science and technology, presented by Dr. Angela Shaw and Dr. Shannon Coleman.
Saurabh Sanjay Ekar, major in mechanical engineering, presented by Dr. Nicole Hashemi.
Maxwell Reed McReynolds, major in plant biology, presented by Dr. Justin Wally.
Amir Ehsan Nyaraki Azli, major in mechanical engineering, presented by Dr. Nicole Hashemi.
Cristian Fernando Montes Serre, major in genetics and genomics, presented by Dr. Justin Wally.
Muhammad Kamar Farouk, major in analytical chemistry, presented by Dr. Jared Anderson.
Laura Elizabeth Tibbs Cortez, major in genetics and genomics, presented by Dr. Jiangming Yu.
Ting Han Lee, major in chemical engineering, presented by Dr. Eric Cochran and Dr. Wenjen Lee.
Jia Lu Wei, major in plant breeding, presented by Dr. Jiangming Yu.
Yifu Chen, major in chemical engineering, presented by Dr. Wenjen Lee.
Gary Joseph Sample, major in human development and family studies, presented by Dr. Jennifer Margaret.
Hengzhou Liu, major in chemical engineering, presented by Dr. Wenjen Lee.
Lonnie Lynn Schumacher, major in veterinary microbiology, presented by Dr. Zhengcheng Zhang.
Wade Dismukes, major in ecology and evolutionary biology, presented by Dr. Tracy Heath.
Wanarat Yim Im, major in veterinary microbiology, presented by Dr. Zhangcheng Zhang.
Kevin Quinteros, major in genetics and genomics, presented by Dr. Tracy Heath.
Valerie Salter, major in hospitality management, presented by Dr. Sojung Lee.
Mohammed Fili, major in industrial engineering, presented by Dr. Guiping Hu.
Smita Singh, major in hospitality management, presented by Dr. Sojung Lee.
Carl Joseph Kirpus, major in industrial engineering, presented by Dr. Guiping Hu.
Rotem Ariely, major in human development and family studies, presented by Dr. Peter Martin.
Laura Lorraine Triplett, major in human development and family studies, presented by Dr. Carrie Hughes Belding.
Hu Gwen Tai, major in materials science and engineering, presented by Dr. Steve Martin.
Luke Timothy Huber, major in human development and family studies, presented by Dr. Carrie Hughes Belding.
Sharu Paul Sharma, major in genetics and genomics, presented by Dr. Thomas Peterson.
Ting Miao, major in genetics and genomics, presented by Dr. Hua Bei.
Bing Lee, major in condensed matter physics, presented by Dr. Robert McQueenie.
Jay Tang, major in plant biology, presented by Dr. Diane Bassam.
Jesse Noel Rothweiler Foster, major in psychology, presented by Dr. Christian Meisner.
Shin A. Kim, major in physical chemistry, presented by Dr. Joseph Burnett.
Meyer Patrick Bond, major in soil science, presented by Dr. Bradley Miller.
Susanna Jehan Lin, major in veterinary pathology, presented by Dr. Eric Burrow.
Colin Anthony O'Leary, major in biochemistry, presented by Dr. Walter Moss.
Marathi Nevaditha Palaniswamy, major in biomedical sciences, presented by Dr. Chandrasekhar Charivaryamath.
Luman Liu, major in chemical engineering, presented by Dr. Balaji Narasimhan.
Isidro Linyan Jimenez, major in business and technology, presented by Dr. Michael Crum.
Manvi Kapoor, major in biochemistry, presented by Dr. Scott Nelson.
Atusa Zarendast, major in civil engineering, presented by Dr. Christopher Day.
Young Sun John, major in statistics, presented by Dr. Daniel Nettleton.
Philip Dershowitz, major in biophysics, presented by Dr. Alan DeSpirito.
Erica Evropi Spurgeon, major in apparel merchandising and design, presented by Dr. Linda Neen.
Seth Alexander Hirschap, major in applied physics, presented by Dr. Liang Dong.
Tyler Del Rose, major in materials science and engineering, presented by Dr. Vitaly Pecharsky.
Jacqueline H. Stonewall, majors in industrial engineering and human-computer interaction, presented by Dr. Michael Dornike.
Divya Handa, major in agricultural and biosystems engineering, presented by Dr. Joshua Peschel.
Yu Lim Kim, major in physical chemistry, presented by Dr. James Evans.
Alexander Lee Proctor, major in veterinarian microbiology, presented by Dr. Gregory Phillips.
Carson Marie DeMille, major in animal science, presented by Dr. Nicholas Gobler.
Ryan Lee Jung, major in agricultural and biosystems engineering, presented by Dr. Brett Ramirez.
Brian Joseph Squitieri, major in meteorology, presented by Dr. William Gallus, Jr.
Anne-Marie Gall, major in Ecology and Evolutionary Biology, presented by Dr. Haldry Rogers.
Yu-Chen Wang, major in Statistics, presented by Dr. Ulrika Genschel.
Gurkhem Emer Huesenolo, major in Industrial Engineering, presented by Dr. Sarah Ryan.
Naomi Rose Meinertz, major in Human Development and Family Studies, presented by Dr. Megan Gilligan.
Deborah Brittle Golart, major in Veterinary Microbiology, presented by Dr. Orhan Sahin.
Hyong Jin Kim, major in Chemical Engineering, presented by Dr. Surya Malagapragada.
Karen Pang, major in Apparel Merchandising and Design, presented by Dr. Yolanda Sanders.
Bowen Z, major in Applied Mathematics, presented by Dr. David Herzog.
Shi-Shin Lin, major in Chemical Engineering, presented by Dr. Brent Shanks.
Nyan Hong Han, major in Aerospace Engineering, presented by Dr. Hui Hu.
Dio Luo, major in Biomedical Sciences, presented by Dr. Ravindra Singh.
Jiaqi Yu, major in Analytical Chemistry, presented by Dr. Wenyu Huang.
Adam Richard Lawrence, major in Mechanical Engineering, presented by Dr. Travis Sippo.
Megan Ashley Abeta, major in Animal Science, presented by Dr. Ranga Apuhami Jayasurya.
Nathaniel Robert Benjamin, major in Mathematics, presented by Dr. Sung Song.
Kelly Lynn McClernon, major in Statistics, presented by Dr. Mark Kaiser.
Lindsay Marie Hartfield, major in Agricultural and Biosystems Engineering, presented by Dr. Michelle Supir.
Carlos G. Toledo Parada, major in Rhetoric and Professional Communication, presented by Dr. Charles Kostelnick.
Stefan Baumann, major in Human-Computer Interaction, presented by Dr. Richard Stone.
Brandon Scott Riddell, major in Microbiology, presented by Dr. Amanda Kruder.
Tariq Omer, major in Civil Engineering, presented by Dr. Roy Sturgill.
Menas Bhatnagar, major in Applied Mathematics, presented by Dr. Hailiang Liu.
Hamed Batani, major in Chemical Engineering, presented by Dr. Jean-Philippe Tessonnier.
Caitlin Rose Brinker, major in Electrical Engineering, presented by Dr. Reza Zugi.
Andrew James Neindorf, major in Education, presented by Dr. Zoe Thornton.
Tori Logan Cox, major in Chemistry, presented by Dr. Julia Zekina.
Shu Teng, major in Computer Engineering, presented by Dr. Goshe Trzejewski.
Zirei Zhang, majors in Bioinformatics and Computational Biology and Statistics, presented by Dr. Liji Wang.
AKM Masood Alam, major in Apparel Merchandising and Design, presented by Dr. Chun-Wei Shang.
Ritu Shandaya, major in Computer Science, presented by Dr. Johnny Wong.
Parath Melugiri Shankar Ramatmurthy, Major in Civil Engineering, presented by Dr. Keijin Wang.
Binji Liu, Major in Material Science and Engineering, presented by Dr. Shaoli Tan.
Om Rameshwar Gatla, Major in Computer Engineering, presented by Dr. Mai Cheng.
Ahmed Abdul Rahman Abdallah, Major in Toxicology, presented by Dr. Lee Burris.
Mosle Udin, Major in Mechanical Engineering, presented by Dr. Mark Umba Wright.
Matthew D. Stevenson, Major in Wildlife Ecology, presented by Dr. Lisa Schulte-Moore and Dr. Robert Claver.
My congratulations to all of our doctoral graduates. We are proud of you and your educational achievements. Candidates for master's degrees, please rise as you are able. The master's degree is awarded to those who have successfully completed an intensive course of study in a particular discipline. Reflecting the diversity of ways in which advanced knowledge and skills can be obtained, the university awards a variety of master's degrees with specific names and expectations. In many fields, a master's degree represents the highest academic achievement, and its holders are accorded full recognition as practitioners of its art. The master's degree often involves research and the preparation of a thesis or a creative component that demonstrates an ability to conduct original inquiry. All of those who receive their degrees today have demonstrated a dedication to learning and to enhancing their abilities to contribute to society. Their degrees demonstrate that they have truly mastered a complex and demanding body of knowledge. President Winterstein, these candidates have completed the requirements prescribed by their respective degree programs. They are recommended by the graduate faculty and the Faculty Senate and are approved by the Board of Regents, State of Iowa, for their master's degrees.
In recognition of the satisfactory completion of your respective programs in the Graduate College, and by the authority delegated to me by the Board of Regents, State of Iowa, I confer upon you your master's degree with its accompanying rights, privileges, and obligations. The diploma, now to be placed in your hands, shall forever be the testimony of this advanced academic achievement. Congratulations.
Master's graduates, you may now be seated. The faculty marshals will dismiss you by row to approach the stage. Julia Nutter, major in food science and technology.
Allison Candice Griffiths, major in landscape architecture.
Kaveh Abbasi Hafsanjani, majors in industrial design and human-computer interaction.
Shiva Afshari, major in landscape architecture.
Shom Sharma, major in engineering management.
Colton Ernest Warwick, major in agricultural education.
Colin Andrew Blatchford, major in electrical engineering.
Anna Marie Sophia Bowser, major in agricultural education.
Rishab Sharma, major in engineering management.
Alexander Barton, major in accounting.
Osama O. Ibrahim, major in information systems.
Edward Stephen Dearden, major in crop production and physiology.
Treva Leanne Wilson, major in professional practice in dietetics.
Lauren Marie Botine, major in agronomy.
Brandon Winston, major in business administration.
David Kyle Berry, major in engineering and cybersecurity.
Sama A.H. Abel-Tawab, major in aerospace engineering.
Peter Orina Mojeni, major in electrical engineering.
Aaron Mevelink, major in mechanical engineering.
Dua Shong Vang, major in microbiology.
Alyssa Dawn Freestone, major in animal science.
Emily Mary Schrimpf, major in apparel merchandising and design.
Isabel Marie Almaguer, major in human-computer interaction.
Kaylin Danielle Wilson, major in systems engineering.
Sarah E. Lee, major in agricultural education.
Shay Morgan McLafferty, major in geology.
Carly Elaine Erickson, major in agricultural education.
Olivia Margaret Marcelli, major in geology.
Alex McPherson, major in education.
Catherine M. Johnson, major in family and consumer sciences.
Yashmanta Kumar Mistry, major in industrial engineering.
Heidi Nicole Fank, major in professional practice in dietetics.
Anuja Anurag Sharma, major in informational systems.
Khadija A. Kapadia, major in human-computer interaction.
Yadav Jyothi, major in information systems.
Daniel Glenn Turley, major in physical chemistry.
Satish Kumar Kura, major in information systems.
Chase Lee McAllister, major in accounting.
Sarah Heller, major in business administration.
Kara Kia Gravert, major in anthropology.
Jacob David Austin, major in physics.
Chad Thomas Shashwari, major in accounting.
Cade Allen Tachtenhorst, major in electrical engineering.
Matthew Robert Curtin, major in accounting.
Alexander Edward Stammer, major in systems engineering.
Ranji Lashari Bassard, major in biomedical sciences.
Cameron Kenneth Greenwalt, major in computer engineering.
Jaden Olivia Photo, major in biomedical sciences.
Jie Sheng, major in hospitality management.
Krista Regeniter, major in community development.
Stephen Thomas Manget, major in electrical engineering.
Cora Herbkersman, major in rural sociology.
Ronak Karimi, major in human-computer interaction.
Joshkin Erden, major in statistics.
Morgan Janice Clark, major in analytical chemistry.
Charles J. Knight, major in agronomy.
Molly Ann Minkler, major in sociology.
Cole Robert Drenth, major in aerospace engineering.
Tanner Dean Bonham, major in environmental science.
Nicholas J. Schuffelbein, major in business administration.
Matthew Carlin Townsend, major in systems engineering.
Asia Corinne Elizabeth Norris, major in biomedical sciences.
Suri Dibanita Saeed, major in computer science.
Jeremiah E. Reed, major in biomedical sciences.
Sean Michael Griffin, major in computer engineering.
Alam Jake Ramirez Reyes, major in soil science.
Matthew Patrick Dwyer, major in computer engineering.
Patrick David Galland, major in horticulture.
Kristen George Nanetti, major in computer engineering.
Mohammed A.M.B. Ablushi, major in chemical engineering.
Adam R. Boozman, major in civil engineering.
Shelby Sierra Soper, major in political science.
Bradley Thomas Gannon, major in agricultural and biosystems engineering.
Morgan Mitchell, major in information systems.
Eric John Henning, major in agricultural and biosystems engineering.
Claire Elizabeth Kriesel, major in biochemistry.
Jamil Kamel Kelly, majors in human-computer interaction and computer engineering.
Rodrigo Chavez de Peva, major in veterinary preventive medicine.
Jeffrey William Dixon, major in business administration.
Joseph Yun Ming Kim, major in industrial engineering.
Rachel Joy Lentz, major in political science.
Li Zhang, major in integrated visual arts.
Elizabeth Kusuma Adi Permatasari, major in computer engineering.
Xiaoning Fang, majors in graphic design and human-computer interaction.
Sheila Kwikeriza, major in horticulture.
Liam Fitzgerald Jameson, major in cybersecurity.
Sylvia Namirembe, majors in community and regional planning and urban design.
Olivia Frances Macaulay, major in meteorology.
Crystal Michelle West, major in cybersecurity.
Daniel C. Moraes, major in veterinary preventive medicine.
Richa P. Patel, majors in computer engineering and cybersecurity.
Karthian Rajendra Jadhav, major in engineering mechanics.
Andrea Paola Maldonado Lizardi, major in journalism and mass communication.
Derek George Capeo, majors in anthropology and sustainable agriculture.
Claire Marie Thorson, major in journalism and mass communication.
Mingze Wu, major in political science.
Kyle Joseph Kempt, major in family and consumer sciences. Liam Rory Walling, major in family and consumer sciences.
My congratulations to all of those receiving their master's degrees today. We take great pride in your accomplishments.
On behalf of the entire university community, I extend my sincerest congratulations to all of our graduates. We wish you the very best and look forward to hearing from you about all of your accomplishments. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce to you Dr. Jeffrey Johnson, Laura and Russ Talbot, Endowed President and CEO of the Iowa State University Alumni Association. He will welcome you as our newest alumni of Iowa State University.
Thank you, President Winterstein. Greetings, Iowa State's newest alumni. You are now mine. On behalf of the staff, members, and board of directors of the Iowa State University Alumni Association, congratulations on your graduation from this great university. Some of my words today were borrowed from Colonel Harold Pride's 1935 speech to the Iowa State College graduates. Colonel Pride graduated from Iowa State in 1917 and served as executive director of the Iowa State University Alumni Association from 1923 until 1937. Colonel Pride stated, "You were students here for 2, 4, or more years, especially if you received multiple degrees from Iowa State. You will, however, be alumni of Iowa State for the rest of your life. No matter what you do or where you go, you will always be a member of this prestigious higher education family, and this school will always be interested in what you do, how you continue to contribute to society, and what you become." He went on to say, "I implore you to remember that no college or university can ever become truly great without a large body of well-informed, closely knit alumni. Therefore, I, Jeff Johnson, your current alumni director, am asking you to remember the following. Iowa State alumni are important and committed partners with their university, their alma mater. They help fund building projects. They invested in faculty and programs. They also invested in you through scholarships. You and the alumni of the future will largely determine what your children, your grandchildren, and others will find when they matriculate to Iowa State. In order that you may keep in touch with the university as well as your college friends during the coming years, the Alumni Association invites you to join its ranks and become regular readers of the Reimagined Alumni magazine, Iowa Stater, which is mailed 3 times per year. Be on the lookout for your college-based publications as well. These publications should be viewed as our family newsletters, which will bring you news about fellow alumni, campus happenings, and engagement opportunities. In order that you may share in alumni activities just as you engage in student activities and start enjoying Iowa Stater and all other member benefits right away, the association's board is providing to each of you a special discounted membership rate of $30 for the next 5 years. Please become a member today. And wherever you go, whatever you do, 10 or 30 years from now, remember that the Alumni Association is here to serve you and to help you get the most out of your college relationships. To connect to and to get involved with the local alumni club in your current or future community, I encourage you to go to our website, which is very simple, isualum.org. You're going to soon discover that cyclones really are everywhere. Today, Iowa State's more than 275,000 alumni live in all 99 counties of Iowa, all 50 states and the territories, and more than 150 countries. If you change your address, be sure to let the association know in order that we may put you in touch with other alumni in your new community. If you wish to have access to the names and addresses of alumni anywhere at any time, as an Alumni Association member, you will have direct access to the online alumni directory. This is a key connector for you to learn of alumni who also work in the same profession as you or in the company that employs you. With every good wish for your success, health, and happiness, I also encourage the following from you beginning tonight. Please promise me that you will not throw my letters in the trash, that you will not delete my emails, that you will not ignore my text messages and tweets, and you will never hide when I come to your door. And more importantly, you will not hang up on me when I call. Let's get to know each other better as we become partners in helping you advance your careers, enhance your degrees, stay connected to your colleges, support your alma mater, and network with Cyclones everywhere. Congratulations again, class of 2022. And remember, you are Cyclones for life. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. We are nearing the conclusion of our Fall 2022 Graduate College Commencement Ceremony. I again want to thank our commencement speaker, Dr. Beata Schmidtmann, for her wonderful remarks and her leadership and service here at Iowa State University. And now I want to offer my personal congratulations to all of today's graduates. We are extremely proud of you and all that you have accomplished. Your Iowa State University diploma is the culmination of rigorous coursework, hands-on learning, and life-changing experiences both inside and outside of the classroom. It is a symbol both of the university's excellence and your hard-earned academic achievement. Thank you for making this a memorable evening, and thank you for making Iowa State an important part of your personal and professional journey. Before we close today, we want to recognize the hard work of all those individuals who have supported these graduates, the faculty and staff, family members, and many friends. I ask the graduates to please rise and find your family and friends in the audience and thank them for their support. Please rise and thank your family and friends. I now ask the audience to rise as well. With the family and friends of these wonderful graduates, show your pride for their achievements. Would everyone please remain standing as we conclude our commencement ceremony? We want to thank you for being part of this very important ceremony. And now with the singing of the Bells of Iowa State by student vocalist Mr. Cole Stevenson, I pronounce the Fall 2022 Graduate College Commencement Ceremony at a close.
Please join me in the singing of the Bells of Iowa State. You will find the music on the back of your programs.
and vow.